Greetings, Nick Bowcott with Sweetwater, and welcome to the third and final episode of Guitar Harmony Lines. In the first two, we looked at dual harmony guitar lines in the style of bands such as Iron Maiden, Thin Lizzy, Slayer, and Kiss. We did this by learning about diatonic thirds, parallel fifths and fourths, and even the allegedly weak octave. Now we're going to do more of the same in this episode, but this time we're going to expand our horizons. We're not going to just use two guitars, we're going to use three, and at the end we're going to go to, wait for it, 4. We're going to be doing this by literally stacking diatonic thirds, just like I did in the intro piece. As you saw, there were 3 guitars playing for most of that. That was in E minor, and we were using the good old favorite E natural minor, which is a staple of hard rock and heavy metal. Just like the 2-guitar diatonic third harmonies we studied in videos 1 and 2, this is surprisingly simple. Hey, it must be. I can do it. But before we get started, let's just have a quick recap on what diatonic means. Diatonic means simply staying within the scale. So the only notes you can use to harmonize a note or notes are the ones within the scale being used. Got it? Good. Let's get down to it. To create a 3-part diatonic harmony line, just like the ones in the intro, this is what you do. It's 3 steps. Number 1, you create the melody line that you want to build the harmonies upon. Number 2, we create the first harmony line by using diatonic thirds, exactly as you've already learned. So that's easy. You just take a note, and to find its harmony, you go 2 steps higher up in the same scale. Got it? And number 3, creating the third guitar part. What we do is duplicate what we did to create the second part, but we use the second part, the second harmonic line, as the bass line and build upon it. So we build another diatonic third upon that by merely adding 2 notes to whatever notes are in there we want to harmonize. Got it? Very, very, very simple. To show you just how simple it is, let's look at something in my favorite of all keys, A natural minor, because it has no flats or sharps. So it literally goes from low to high, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then octave A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on and so forth. So with no sharps or flats, I can do this. Here's the relatively simple A natural minor melody line we're going to be harmonizing. Not too bad. Can't be that difficult. I can play it. Let's do the first harmony line first. Now we have the melody line in place. And we're going to do exactly like we did it on the first 2 videos. So we're just going to add 2 notes to the ones we're playing in the line. So the first note in the line is A. So 2 notes up is A, B, C. The next note is a C. So C, D, E. Next note is a D. So the harmony to that is E, F. And there you have it. That's how you create the first line, and here's how it would start when I play it correctly. And so on and so forth. It's not that difficult. You know the formula. And if you have trouble doing it in your head like I do, then just get some tab paper and a pen and you're off to the races. Now let's build the next harmony line. And we do it exactly the same way. We just build off the line we've created. The first note in that was C. So the first note of our third line will be C, D, E, and so on and so forth. You've got this, and this is what you'll get if you do it right. Right, now we've done the legwork, let's hear the result, shall we? So I'm going to play along to a backing tape, and what we're going to do is just hear the melody line first, then I'm going to come in with the diatonic third harmony, then after another turn I'll come in with the 5th, and for the very last one, what I'm going to do to make it more interesting, just like we did in video 2 with the Trooper, I'm going to take the third diatonic harmony line and take it an octave lower, so I flip it. wasn't that pretty, but that's the power of harmonies. By the way, now you know the rules, don't be scared to break them. There are no rules. If it sounds right, it's correct. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. In the intro, I did a weird little part that I thought sounded cool, but the notes I play are not in any scale I know, so I couldn't use the diatonic method to come up with the harmony. This is the part I'm talking about. I really liked that line, so I wanted to harmonize it, so I just messed around till I found something that sounded cool. I could kind of hear it on my head, so I just went on a search, on a mission, if you will. And this is what I came up with. To harmonize this, I came up with this line. This is the main line. I came up with this, believe it or not. It looks weird. Completely different, but let's hear how they sound together, because they do sound really good, I promise. Here goes. And in my humble opinion, that sounds really good. When I came up with the line, I had no clue what it was with regards to musical theory, but I wanted to find out why it worked, so this is what I found out. The first two notes I want to harmonize are on the B string here. And I found the harmony notes on the same string, but 3 frets higher. And that's an interval of a minor third, so that's what I was doing there. Then the next two notes in the trill are on the G string, and these, for the harmony, I went up actually 4 frets to... And that's an interval of a major third. So minor third for 2 notes, then major third for the next trill. Then let's see what happened for the last 2 notes before the final note, which are on the D string at the same fret. I found the harmony 5 frets up here, which is actually a 4th, so parallel 4ths there. And the very last note, which goes back to this one, I liked the way this note sounded, which is actually a flat 5th. The evil note. So there we have it. 2 of the notes harmonized with parallel minor thirds, the next 2 in the trill series with major thirds, the next 2 4ths, parallel 4ths, and then a flat 5th. Now, I don't know if that's theoretically correct or incorrect, but you know what? I don't care. And that's how you should roll. If you like how it sounds, it works. It's correct. It's good. Go with it. Now, at the start of the video, I promised we'd do some 4 guitar work, so that's how we're going to finish. And what we're going to do is we're just going to stack another diatonic third upon the 3-part harmony we've already created. So we're going to go melody line, diatonic third, diatonic 5th, and then guess what the next one will be? Diatonic 7. It might be too much, but it's definitely food for thought, and this is how we're going to illustrate it. I'm going to play just the A natural minor from A to A. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, back to A. I'm going to play that once, then I'm going to put another guitar doing the third to that. So that would start on C, so from C to C. Then after that, I'm going to put the 5th harmony on, which would be E. So I'm going to go from E to E. And then finally, I'm going to do the 7th, which will be an octave from G to G. And I'm just going to stack them like that so you hear the harmonies in a simple scale. And it's surprisingly effective. Like I said, it might be a bit much, but hopefully it gives you food for thought. So now you know what the plan is. Let's play out with it. I'll start with the first line, then the second, then add the third, then add the 4th. So experiment with this. Use your ears, have fun, play from your heart. I'm out. See ya!